Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Week 5. I'm your guy, Coach James Lewis. On the other end, Doc Eric Mendelson. How we doing? Fresh off going to a live game winner game. You always remember those. Jeremy Grant at the buzzer with a little travel.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of travel, but dude torched the Suns, 30 points. And he did everything besides hit the first basket, which is what some of us bet on. But it's always cool seeing in-person basketball and not just seeing the whiz.
Absolutely. And you remember the ones, the game winners. I took an LA trip back in 2013. Andre Iguodala over Trevor Ariza's dome piece. 2 nights later, Steve Novak in the corner. So, those games, I remember anytime there's a game winner, there's something at the buzzers, nothing quite like that live basketball feeling and excitement. But you're here for Fantasy Hoops. We're week 5 into the thick of things. We're going to get right into our schedule, some pickups, some people to watch, some people to drop. Games played is how we start, though. The Spurs guys got 5. So Dougie McDermott may get a stream this week. He's still consistently hitting threes and getting you points. He's not like a must-own or anything like that. Keldon Johnson, if you picked him in the draft, you're reaping the benefits. Trey Jones figuring it out, even with his shot has improved a lot. Jakob Poeltl is sturdy, not a cute guy, but you have him on your team. You were proud. You drafted him. We were just talking about Zach Collins. If he got more minutes, he would be a super own. Jeremy Socon is somebody we're watching. Josh Richardson has been pretty consistent. And the Spurs are actually been a good team this year. They're hitting the 3 ball. They pass the ball. They're actually a good watch. The Pacers, the Jazz come in mind. 3 teams that were supposed to stink. They don't really stink that bad. And they're actually fun to watch. Games with teams with 2. There are 4 teams here. The Bulls, the Lakers, who probably need some time to rest and just think about life, as they have the worst record in basketball. The T-Wolves and the Sixers, so Cat and Embiid owners are going to try to fight this week to win. It sucks when you have 2 games and, there's teams that have 5. Teams with 3, there's 14, and teams that play 4 games that are 10. All right, but you came here to see who to pick up. Campaign is a must-own. He's a must-own. You got to get him. We'll talk about him soon. Only 35% of Yahoo Leagues have him right now. It's PoKu time, 53%. Mason Plumlee, 48%, and Malik Monk. We'll then talk about Malik Beasley, some Houston Rockets players, and KJ Martin, Tari Eason. Is it Cam Thomas time? Is it Killian Hayes? We're here to talk, and our number 1 pickup is Cameron Payne. Last 2 games going ballistic with the chance to start with CP3 out. He had 22 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 5 3-pointers made against Orlando. Follows that up with 23 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 3-pointers made at Minnesota, playing 35 minutes in both of those games. Suns don't lose a beat. Doc, what you got to say about Cam Payne? What's your hot take here?
All right, so my hot take is that Campaign should be starting over Chris Paul rest of the season. And from somebody that saw the game in person, is a little bit different than watching and looking at the box scores. Chris Paul picks up his dribble at the 3-point line, and we all know he's not shooting the ball. So it limits the offense.
The point guard, you want to put him on the bench?
Maybe he's that spark you need off the bench like Russell Westbrook. But, we're looking at Campaign, the 3 games that CP3's out. 28, 35, 35 minutes. He's putting up averages of about 20 points per game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He even gave you a game with 4 steals, and he's shooting the ball from 3. And I think that really kind of helps expand the offense. Doesn't put the focus on Devin Booker just to create. I know it's a little bit of a hot take, but Campaign should be a starting point guard somewhere.
You can't do that to the point guard I mean, he was third team All NBA last year. I really think that he's hindered. That's what I'm gonna go with. Like, I think he's hurt, and
Okay, and that's fair.
and that's why he maybe not playing. I think that's why he fell apart in the Dallas series. He's got to get right because there's clearly a step. He's definitely a step behind. Campaign, although he'll accept a backup role. I don't think he's like out there like I need to start. So even if he's playing better basketball than CP, maybe he's finishing games. We saw that earlier this year. But let's hope the point guard gets healthy because the Suns have no chance at winning the championship without him playing at top level. All right, Alexei Pokusevski. I love a human being that can be three position versatile. I can put him at small forward, power forward. I can put him at center in Yahoo leagues. And is it finally time? He is the person that he has two good games. You pick him up and then he falls off the cliff. But he's a must pick up when he's playing basketball like right now. The last two games, he had 8 stocks total. He hits threes. He's really their best power forward right now. And he just looks weird, but he has a nice game. He's a fun watch. In the last week, averaging 15.5 a game, 7.5 rebounds. We talked about the threes. We talked about the stocks. That is a must hold. He's what fantasy owners were hoping Bol was going to do when he started playing a little bit.
And the thing about Poku also, I mean, he missed some time with some shoulder bursitis, but he's a 7-foot guy with a 7-foot wingspan. And that's what Sam Presti's looking to build in OKC, kind of those mismatch we saw with Chet Holmgren. Like I think he's someone that values length. And when Poku's healthy, I mean, 23 and 39 minutes the last couple games, it's just he hasn't been healthy this year.
Yeah, but go get him right now while he's 47% available. Mason, boring Plumlee. I'm sorry to say, but you got to pick him up. In the last 2 weeks, 11 points, 10.5 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, that's serviceable. He's not going to get you any threes. He's not going to get you any defensive stats. We'll see how this holds up. I think those numbers are going to render down a little bit, but if he's going to get you 13 points, 15 boards, 5 dimes like he did against Miami, and 16 points, 12 boards, 4 assists like he did against Portland, all within the last week, then right now, I guess you got to roster him. He's boring. Malik Monk. He's so boring that Doc was like, I just have not a word for him. I love it.
Yeah, that's right.
Malik Monk is 33% rostered here on Yahoo, and on the season, he's giving you 12 points. The 4 dimes is what I like a lot. He give you threes, but he's finding a role in this Sacramento lineup. He's a guy that you won't feel too bad about cutting, but he's a good player.
Kings are 5-2 in their last 7. They've been giving Monk more minutes. He's shot double-digit shot attempts and had double-digit points. You mentioned the career high 4.3 assists. Like he's finding his role with the Kings, and if this is the lineup where they're going to keep winning, they're now in the playoff race. And I know this is the second month of the season, but they're going to go with the players that are producing. So it's like keep them for now.
And I said this, and I think it was like week 2. They had the hardest schedule to start the year, and they didn't look like they were a bad team. So I'm glad that they have turned that around. Moving on with our second pile of pickup players, starring Malik Beasley. When shooters shoot, you gotta pick him up. He's got 14 3 balls in the last 3 games, including 4 against Washington and 6 against Atlanta. He's getting you rebounds too, and he's good for a swipe a game. So Malik Beasley, shooting guard, small forward eligible, playing, and I have him with his T-Wolves uniform. He plays for the Utah Jazz, people. So pick up Malik Beasley as he's shooting well this week. Houston boys, I'm gonna have Doc do a pick 'em. Tari Eason, KJ Martin, who you like, and let's talk about them.
So I like Tari Eason, and I just hope he gets a little bit more minutes. And the Rockets have been giving a little bit more, 20 plus in his last 4. I mean, this is a guy that can get you 6 to 7 rebounds a game. The assists fluctuate, but he is a steals god. And coach knows. Herb Jones, my guy last year. Larry Nance the year before. If you play in a categories league, steals are probably the ugliest stepchild. They're so hard to get. So when you have someone that can get you 8 steals in 2 games, that is somebody you want to roster. So hopefully the Rockets.
5 swipes in Toronto, and I know Toronto's looking on the other end like, this is, how did we not draft him? I mean, they didn't have the chance to, but that he seems like a perfect like Toronto versatile, huge guy. 18.4 minutes per game is where I'm like, I can't press play. I can't pick him up. This is what we were seeing with Alperen Şengün last year. It's like, just let him play. He's a fantasy monster if he does. KJ Martin is the pickup, though. He plays more. 11 points, 5 boards. He's going to get you a 3. He does have defensive potential, although he's, hindering around a half a stat a game. In the last week against Orlando, 21 points, 4 boards, 5 dimes, 4 3-pointers, 2 blocks. He put it all on display on Orlando. And then Toronto, 13 points, 6 boards, 2 threes, 2 blocks. I like KJ Martin over Tari. I like Tari if he's playing more.
I want to disagree with you, but you're right on that. Like, the minutes are there. He's giving you more points. I just want Tari Eason to be better.
Everyone does. We saw Tari preseason just go bananas, and what he did in summer league is just like, God, he's so damn good. He really should be playing over Jabari Smith a little bit based on his inconsistency as of late. I'm a Jabari owner, and I'm hoping that it'll pay off towards the end of the season, but he is in a super slump right now. Let's talk about Cam Thomas. He's been getting picked up left and right after having 21 points against Charlotte and 17 against Washington. But in the past 2 games, he's had a 4-2-3 line and a 6-2-2 line. So he's not for me. I really honestly don't even think he should be playing too much, especially with Ben. We'll talk about Ben Simmons. Kyrie's out for another 4 or 5. I think they reported. So it's definitely a guy to watch. But I'm thinking more of a maybe Seth Curry.
Coach, let me ask you, though. Do you think it's guaranteed that Kyrie comes back? Like, I know he's suspended, but, like, he's the most unpredictable guy. Do you think we talk about the campaigns and backup point guards, and it's like that. It's the handcuff. It's the immediate ad, and it's speculate on injury. But with Kyrie, you don't have to speculate injury. You just have to speculate Kyrie being Kyrie. Do you think Cam Thomas is somebody that you want to stash even if Kyrie does come back?
No, I'm staying away from him, especially with his poorest field goal percentage, under 40, sub 40. He does not give you enough anything. Threes, defensive stat, steal. Like, he really doesn't do anything but score the basketball. So I'm staying away from him, especially in categories leagues. I wouldn't touch him. And I think Kyrie is on the right wavelength to come back. He's got the owner side tweeting about him, and Silver. Like, I think he's checking off all the bullet points that are going to get him back in line and back playing basketball. And arrested Kyrie is dangerous. He was a top 10 fantasy player per game last year, and I think he gets back into that when he gets back on the court and he has something to prove. People make mistakes, and I don't think he's a bad guy. He stood up for and stood behind something that he shouldn't have instead of just apologized. That's my take on him. Killian Hayes, though, he's playing with Cunningham out. Points, rebounds, dimes, swipes, back-to-back 35-minute games, 15, 6, and 7 with 3 threes, and then 11, 7, and 7 with 3 steals, playing better than Corey Joseph, and he's starting right now. Is Killian Hayes, is he finally going to get rolling? Doc?
I mean, as long as Cade Cunningham is out, I mean, he shot the ball 14 times. He shot 14 3 attempts in those games. I mean, you mentioned that he's getting boards and rebounds as well. He's a 6'5" point guard, maybe shooting guard if you want to call him that. Sometimes you just have to play advantage of the waiver wire, stay on top of injuries. I mean, remember, we are in the load management era. People don't play 82 games anymore.
Yeah, I think it's a short-lived stream. He still can't score the basketball. He hit 3 threes. I think it was a lucky day, and then 11 the next day. He's going to get you some assists. He can get you some steals, rebounds. But Killian Hayes, I don't think that it's going to work out.
The 3 threes were lucky. He's shooting 25% for the season. Not as bad as Sabonis, but
yeah. I'm buying the Ivy stock, though. That kid is amazing. Watch candidates. Larry Nance. You got to watch the minutes when Jonas Valanciunas is not on the court, Larry Nance is playing, and sometimes ending basketball games that give you some assists, some rebounds, some swipes. You love him for his swipes. Seth Curry's just coming back from injury. He had a game, he had 23. AJ Griffin had a game where they took down the undefeated Bucks, where he played 30 minutes out of nowhere and dropped 23 on 10 of 15 shooting. You saw Shaedon Sharpe live, and you have your own take on him. Gabe Vincent is scoring the basketball right now. He's getting his bench minutes, and we've seen him be a contributor last year. We want Zach Collins to play more, and Grayson Allen, he's playing, and then he's not playing, and he gives you three. He's somebody that is okay.
Bucks are decimated with injuries. Giannis, Middleton still out. Drew Holiday with a sprained ankle. Like when Javon Carter drops 36,
holy moly,
that's how you know it's time to add some Bucks. So Grayson Allen left Friday his game against the Spurs with a non-COVID illness, but assuming that's just a one-game absence, he's definitely someone I'm looking to add for this upcoming week, assuming all Bucks aren't healthy.
All right, these are drop candidates. Now, I'm a Jalen Smith owner in 2 leagues, and he's had a couple games here where he's not playing much. He's played like a 14-minute game, 11-minute game. Of course, when Miles Turner drops 35 like he did, there's really no place for Jalen Smith. I'm a hold on him. I'm not dropping him because we've seen when he does get the minutes, he gets a lot of rebounds. He can hit a couple threes. He can get a block. So, yeah, he's not going to get you assists or really steals like that. But I'm a hold on him because I think he has high-end rebound when he does get some usage. I'm curious to hear your take before we get the other guys.
It's tough for Jalen Smith. I mean, the minutes have been fluctuating, and I mean, Miles Turner was out at the beginning of the season because of the sprained ankle he got in warmups. I mean, I'm with you. I think Jalen Smith as a whole, Miles Turner has made it clear that he wants out of Indiana, and if they really valued him long term, they'd want to ship him in a trade. And we saw when Turner was out last year, Jalen Smith was somebody that you were adding. So I would hold him for that reason.
I think he can really move the needle on a certain team if he does land there. Like I can think if he goes to the Nets, I think they could be a playing team. Like without him, I don't think they have. I don't know. They don't look too good.
I mean,
right now.
I love Miles Turner. Very few big men can swat shots and hit threes like him. That's someone that's valuable in your lineup.
Yeah, and he can fit in with a lot because he can, like you said, he can hit that three and still defend the paint. So yeah, we'll see. Lou Dort is him and Dylan Brooks. Like these guys come and go. You think you have a steal when you pick them up, but they shoot terrible percentages and they will shoot you out of categories league. So they're more points guys. Lou Dort, he's dropped his points per game from like 18 last year to like 12. So I know I have him in one of my leagues, and it's like, God, why do I have this Lou Dort guy? DeAndre Hunter, he can get you some points, some rebounds, some threes, some games, but he just doesn't do enough. And he's known for a defensive player, but he doesn't get any defensive stats ever. Jalen Duren, points, rebounds, and some blocks sometimes. He's not somebody that should be rostered right now. Although if Isaiah Stewart gets moved, he plays more. If he plays more, he's a lock because he's going to get you his blocks per minute are there. And then Rui is another fool's gold to me. You know, he had a monster game against Dallas off the bench this past week. I think he had 26 and like 12 awards. He can't do anything outside of those categories either. So these guys, they all look kind of cool, but they're not as sexy as Mason Plumlee. Honestly,
Coach, as a Wizards fan, you agree that Rui needs a new home, right?
Rui, Osvia, Kispert, the Wizards are undefeated with just lame draft picks. It's just unbelievable.
We can't even blame Ernie Grunfeld anymore.
The guys that go after, I mean, Halliburton, he's right there. Get the damn guy. Why don't we ever make the pick? I don't know. I'm sorry. That's some Wizards frustration out there. I love some Kuz, though. Kuz is hooping. We need Bradley Beal to come back, though. It's a little bit of an eyesore.
We do. Is your soapbox a little bit of a preview for something else?
No. What are you one are you hitting?
Oh, I was hitting at Ben Simmons.
Oh, let's get to him. Get him out of here. God damn it. I had Ben Simmons. I thought I went and got him a couple rounds before he was supposed to get drafted. I hit him with like the 80 pick. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got Ben Simmons walking triple-double. The guy hasn't had a single double-digit stat since the first game where he had 10 boards. He's been single-digit little Ben Simmons the entire season. He's 85% rostered, and we just saw him wet the bed against the Clippers. I know he's coming back off an injury, but 2 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. He isn't even looking at the rim. He comes down and he does a handoff. He doesn't do any attacking. He doesn't shoot the ball. Okay, 1.1 steals. That's cool. I honestly, I have to hold on to him, but every time I put him in the lineup, he does nothing for me. Hopefully, he'll figure it out.
He looks out of shape.
He looks lost. He looks just out.
He got paid and he was done.
What do you do with Ben Simmons?
I mean, you have to hold. Like, if you drop him and, somebody picks him up and just for the sake of usage, he puts up – I mean, he's somebody in a Cats league too. I mean, he can give you blocks and steals and assists.
I mean,
you're right. I mean, you're holding him. You're doing the right thing. You're holding him and you're venting your frustration.
Yeah. I mean, I hit a cut on Draymond last year. He was like, just doing the same thing. He had a really bad start to the season, and he picked it up. And I kind of regretted cutting him. Is Ben Simmons a poor man's Draymond at this point? I mean, just like a year and a half, we were talking about the best players 25 and under, and I was saying Luka, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Booker, but there were other people that were arguing with me. Said, well, you're crazy. He plays defense. He's better than all those guys. It doesn't look that way. All right, weekend streamers. I know we've rambled a little bit on this one, but this is our best pot of the year right here. Weekend streamers. Who's going back to back on Saturday, Sunday? Just those Spurs guys because they play 5 games. So if you're looking to pick somebody up at the end of the week and then maybe break ties with them on Monday. We've mentioned them before, and then who goes back to back Sunday, Monday? Somebody you can get an extra game in one day and then maybe make a pickup for Tuesday. The Cavaliers, the Warriors, the Heat, the Knicks. I mentioned Gabe Vincent earlier. Isaiah Hartenstein, 57% rostered. He's not available everywhere. But Mitchell Robinson is out right now, and he gives you decent lines and rebounds, and he definitely produces with blocks. So Isaiah Hartenstein is not a sexy pick, but he's a decent fantasy player.
Man's just got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
The king of picking up 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes and then sitting on the bench every third game.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be Ben Simmons tonight as they play the Lakers. I think he likes to foul out. I think he looks satisfied when he's not playing on the bench. I've never seen that in a basketball players. Like, they're like okay with it. They're apathetic when you just committed 3 fouls in 3 minutes.
I knew he was done mentally when Ja Morant got him to get that 6th foul a couple weeks ago by just toying with him.
No, yeah. Shout out Ja Morant. We love you. Triple Play Fantasy. We love you. Have you on the pod one day. What a great basketball player and human at the same time. So that's all we have for you, week 5. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. Until then, good luck in your fantasy league. No matter where you are, you're not out of it yet. If you're in the bottom 5 of your league, it's okay. You can turn it around. Just pick these guys up that we told you to. Until next time, for Doc, I'm Coach James Lewis.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.